Hey, how's it going? This is Adam Lee Rosenfeld from the music project Har Adonai, and I just want to talk to you for a few minutes. I just want to thank you for checking out my three best songs. And I thought I would give you a little bit of a story, a little bit of background about these songs, something to kind of go with what you're listening to. So the three songs are Blue Pegasus, I Must Save the President, and The Nothing Room. And let's talk about them real quick. Blue Pegasus is the first song I put there. It's a song I recorded a few years ago, and it's the first official studio recording under the name Har Adonai of this music project, which actually hints to that there was a different name before Har Adonai, and I'll get to that in a minute. But this song, Blue Pegasus, was about like a dream that my mother-in-law had, where she saw a poster of a blue horse with wings in a subway station in China, and people became enamored with this picture. That really made me think of the power of fantasy, of becoming enamored with things that are not real. And there's a conversation between using your imagination and fantasizing. Those are two different things. There's a creative power when we use our imagination, and then there's kind of a deviation when we go towards fantasy and escape, which actually causes us to not use our creative power. It actually sucks away our creative power and goes outward towards the direction of escape and doesn't really help anybody, especially not ourselves. So this song is kind of like that difference, that struggle between imagination or creativity and fantasy. And when it all comes to it, it's really a struggle between faith and fantasy. And that's what Blue Pegasus is about. And in it, there are references to winged beasts, to Batman. When I say Batman, I'm talking about the Adam West Batman from the early TV shows, and I hope some of you remember. Blue Pegasus, that was the first song. Second song on the compilation is called I Must Save the President. And that was recorded a long time ago. I'm talking over 10 years ago. And it was recorded even under a different name. It was not recorded under the name Har Adonai. It was recorded under the previous name for my music project, which is called The Pit That Became a Tower, which is kind of a long name. And that song was kind of like the first studio song that I recorded as The Pit That Became a Tower. A lot of pent-up creative energy was getting released on that first song and that first recording of The Pit That Became a Tower. And the song in itself is actually my humble response, just as a creator, as a writer, just trying to process the feeling of seeing the Twin Towers go down. It's about urgency. It's about what do you do when you're called to act. It actually got taken up to be the first song in the This Is Indie Rock compilation released by Deep Elm Records. I'm talking, quite a while ago. Finally, the third song, The Nothing Room, is I just love how it turned out in the studio. I was in my friend John's home studio, and we were stuck on this one. I really wanted it to sound like "Race for the Prize" by the Flaming Lips. If anybody knows that song, it's just like that song sounds like, I don't know, all kinds of awesome, just real powerful sound. And here I am thinking that I can get that powerful sound as well. But we came up with our own sound, and I was really happy with it. I remember at one point, John just figured out that I was just looking for layers upon layers of guitars towards the end of the song, and which comes with the term wall of sound, which was it came from the older producer Phil Spector. What's the song about? The song is about growing up in an environment where there's just nothing to do. There's just no outlet. You just get bored, and you just try to get by. Didn't necessarily do bad things or that great things. It was just trying to get by. You're just totally bored, and then you grow up, you go out, you develop, and then you come back. You grow up in the nothing room, and then you come back to the nothing room, and you bring that great thing that you have, the value that's in you bring there. And so it's an encouragement to people who maybe grew up in an environment where they felt that they couldn't contribute much, they felt that they didn't do much. and they go out of that environment, and then they find that value within themselves, and they go and they take that value and they bring it back to that place, and they bring a change. That's what the Nothing Room is. So thank yous. Adonai Rosenfeld here from the music project Har Adonai. Thank you for downloading my 3-song sampler. I hope you enjoy my songs, and keep following me as I continue on my musical journey. I'm happy to share it with you, and feel free to share my music with friends. I'm over at haradonai.net. Just to remind you guys, have an awesome day.